1 year since his departure, 1 million investigative Reddit threads, one weird ass way to get back to Challenger.
Am I dummy?
Cinderhulk, Triforce, Maw of Malmortius, Knight's Vow, Frozen Heart, Guardian Angel, Stoneplate, Randwins, Locket, Gunblade. Who the bloody hell am I talking about? How about Nidalee? You might not think that playing Nidalee jungle is really breaking the meta, and hey, that's fair enough. I mean, she's not anything crazy by herself, but what about Bruiser Nidalee? If that's still not ringing any off-meta alarm bells, well, you're either very hard to impress or you're a time traveler. We haven't seen Bruiser Nidalee in a very, very long time. Pretty much since her rework, she's been classified as a pure AP champion. A few bruises in the top lane, but that soon fizzled out. And if we're only talking about jungle Nidalee, then she's only ever really been played AP. Maybe a few mad lads would chuck in an Iceborne Gauntlet into their build, maybe a Spirit Visage or something, but definitely a very AP focused champion. But all that changed when the Rush Nation attacked. I don't know what inspired him to do it, but Rush's been playing a lot of Bruiser Nidalee recently. Let's start with the basics. These are your runes, these are your masteries, and this is your core item build. As you saw me mention earlier though, the rest of your item build is more random than a 14-year-old scene kid's MySpace page. Outside of that, what are the biggest differences between standard Nidalee and Rush's Bruiser Nidalee? Well, you play the early game pretty similarly. Once the game progresses though, you'll be focusing more on slightly more extended fights than pure burst. Don't get me wrong, Bruiser Nidalee can do some crazy bursts thanks to Sheen working with Cougar Form Q, but it's not quite the same as AP Nidalee. Essentially, Bruiser Nidalee is more auto attack reliant than Q reliant, since your autos hurt more thanks to Triforce and Fervor, and your spears hurt less thanks to having less AP, it makes sense. Bruiser Nidalee is also a lot better into certain jungle matchups. Essentially, those that abuse Nidalee's general squishiness, or those that have a level 6 power spike, something Nidalee doesn't really have to match. It becomes easier for Nidalee to fight those matchups, those champions, as she builds a lot tankier as a bruiser. Doesn't have to rely on bursting them down to beat them either. The tankiness also means you can be a bit ballsier in setting plays up. One of standard AP Nidalee's harder facets is identifying your window of when you can jump in, since you'll probably die if you do, especially if you're by yourself. But with Bruiser Nidalee, not so much. There's also a kind of like hidden benefit when you're playing Nidalee, that when they see you, they'll try to focus you. When you're playing AP Nidalee, that's not necessarily a good thing because you die pretty bloody fast. But when you're Bruiser Nidalee, not quite the same. Since people are used to Nidalee being quite squishy, it makes sense that they'll try and focus you down. But if you go the Bruiser build, you don't really die that fast at all. This makes you a lot better at soaking up time in these fights, allowing your team to jump in and follow up. As a bruiser, your build can also be more versatile than when you're playing AP Nidalee, so you can adapt and feel more of like a role player for your team. Rush, for example, gets Knight's Vow if his carries are fed, he gets Stoneplate if his team lacks initiation, and of course he just gets more damage if he fancies that as well. Outside of those things, however, you are still Nidalee at your core, regardless of your build, so you'll be playing her somewhat similarly. Would I recommend playing Bruiser over AP Nidalee? Not really sure, honestly. Rush plays both variations, so it's kind of hard to say that one is categorically better than the other, but AP probably still has the edge. But in my opinion, that is if you're good on her. Bruiser is much easier to play, so might suit more people. Hell, even the element of unknown will work in your favor if you choose to play Bruiser. People won't really know how to play against you. But as you can see from the clips in the background, Bruiser Nidalee is pretty bloody crazy, so it's worth checking out if you're a Nidalee player and you're looking to spice some things up. But that's all we're going to say for this video, guys. Going to keep it short and sweet and efficient. Pro tip though, this may work for YouTube videos, but isn't quite as effective with women. But either way, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to give me a cheeky thumbs up. You can subscribe to me for more League of Legends content, and you can find me on Facebook, on Twitter, And catch my stream at twitch.tv/Foxdrop. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you have a great day, and I will see you in my next video.